Good afternoon, everyone. We'll get started.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. And we're going to begin our Fulton County State Court Expedited Accusations calendar. This is a calendar for cases in which individuals have recently been arrested and charged with certain misdemeanor offenses. Soon after their arrest, the Fulton County Solicitor General's office has already accused the cases of the offenses brought against them, and the cases have been bound over to the Fulton County State Court. Nevertheless, this will usually be the defendant's initial appearance before a state court judge. So we are able to address several matters, including bond, possible arraignment, and or a possible plea offer if one has been made by the state at this juncture. I'll also be providing you with a reset date. That reset date for SAP is what, Ms.?
June the 4th. June 4th.
All right, SAP is June 4th. I want to also begin by reminding everyone that this whole entire proceeding is being recorded as well as live streamed on YouTube, so govern yourselves accordingly. I want to also remind the defendants on this calendar that you do have certain constitutional rights. You have a right to representation at this juncture in your case. You should know who your attorney is by now, and who's representing you. You also have a right to remain silent. Remember that anything that you state about the facts, the circumstances, or the occurrences in your case can and will be held against you. The state's here and they're listening, so please listen to your attorneys. All right, who do we have first, deputies?
Position number 10.
Right. This is 24 CR 003190C. Amari Lawn or Land, charge of 1 count of theft by shoplifting. Pretrial.
14 total. Holds out of Henry County and DeKalb for theft.
Has a current felony shoplifting. 2024 shoplifting conviction. 2021 shoplifting conviction. A couple of arrests from 2023 for larceny in another state. 2014 failure to appear. Possession of a forged instrument. That was a conviction from 2019 and 17. And a 2018 strangulation conviction.
All right.
I'll go check on that felony bond. I'll be back.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to the target located at 5570 Roswell Road. The defendant essentially was caught shoplifting 2 sets of Legos. Due to his history, the state is asking for a $1,000 surety bond. Of course, to stay away from all targets within Fulton County. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right. And he's represented by?
Yes, good afternoon, Your
Good
Honor.
afternoon.
My client is 29 years old. He is a Georgia resident. This is a Riverside issue. He was booked in April 27th. This incident allegedly occurred March 8th. He has a bond set on 6 theft by shoplifting already. That will, I guess he had a first appearance on the 27th or the 28th. I'm not sure, but he's been in custody since then, and he does have a bond on his felony theft by shoplifting, and then this warrant popped up. I would ask, because he already has over $10,000 of bond, I would ask for a signature bond on this charge since it is a Riverside issue.
And Your Honor, I'd like to respond to that. I'm double checking now, but there's no way he was booked in on this charge on that day, because I'm looking at the incident date, and the incident date is after the date that counsel provided. And like Chris stated, he has numerous charges open. So if I have to guess, which I'm about to confirm, he was booked on a separate matter, not this, but I'll be glad to double check.
If the incident date's after April 27th, or even if it's in April, then I mean, he denies the allegations as stated in the warrant, but he's been in custody in Forsyth and was transferred here on April 27th. And you can see the booking sheet. He was booked in. It says date of booking.
Right, but we talked about this before. You can't just go on the booking sheet. You have to go to the actual charges tab and see when he was booked on that charge. But if I could just have 5 seconds, I'm typing in his booking number right now as I speak.
Okay.
So I just put up his sheet, and he has multiple cases. But on this one, let me see. This one he was booked in yesterday. So he has multiple holds, multiple cases. Yes, he might have been booked in prior in April, but again, it was not on this case. It was on his felony cases, and he has holds out of other counties, and it looks like he was transferred from another county. So I'm sure he has been in custody longer than 72 hours, but not on this case is my point. So that's my response.
And he wasn't booked in on just the felony. He had other misdemeanors that we handled.
Right, but we're addressing this misdemeanor today. So that's my exact point. He was booked in on other cases that are not on today's calendar. So I just want to make it clear that the Riverside issue does not exist with this case.
And but this incident allegedly occurred March 8th. You know, he would have.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about the incident date. What matters to me, more importantly, is the booking date for this particular charge with this case number.
I do believe that it should have been.
On this charge, he was booked in yesterday. You can look at the gelling screen. It says 5/21, which was yesterday.
Well, I do believe that this should have been addressed in April when all the other theft by shoplifting misdemeanors.
Well, when you have so many open cases,
Your Honor, he does have a lot of. Your Honor, he does have a lot of open cases. He has a lot of bond that he has to pay. He has 2 holds in Henry and DeKalb County. I understand that, you know, he has history, but I would ask in this case for a signature bond or a similar bond to what he got for all the other theft by shoplifting misdemeanor charges, which was $500.
Well, the state will consent to a $500 bond, but I do want to be clear, extensive criminal history is not a valid basis for a signature bond. But I will consent to a $500 surety bond.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right, I will order then the $500 surety bond. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Stay away from all Target stores in the, are we saying the metro Atlanta area or the state of
Fulton
Georgia?
County.
Fulton County only. Okay. Stay away from all Target stores in Fulton County. Shouldn't even be near one. I guess that's it. That's it for this bond. Next.
Position number 2.
Your Honor, could I check, this is Keith Cook, could I check the status of a Spanish interpreter I requested earlier in the day?
Yes.
Mr. Cook, who did you submit the request to? Because Mr. Jordan states he didn't receive one. We're trying to get one at this time.
Okay, I don't know. There are like 20 names on my list, and I think I thought he was on it. So I will
Please,
double
yeah.
check. I will double check. It's the list I always use.
Yes,
Right.
because I didn't receive it, nor did Mr. Jordan. So, but we're trying to get one at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Please make sure as early as as early as possible, because it drags the calendar on it and drags it down when those timely requests are not made for an interpreter. And it should go to the clerk's office. So the clerk will arrange it and we'll see what we can do.
Okay, well, again, it's the list I always use, so I will double check to make sure I have the right people on it.
All right, thank
Please.
you. All right, we're on position 2, 24 CR 00318 Percy Anderson. Charge of 1 count of battery, family violence, a 2nd count of cruelty to children in the 3rd pretrial.
29 total. 2018, 2019 parole violation. 2012 attempt to conspire to violate controlled substance conviction. This was level 2. I didn't see any violent convictions, at least after 2012 anyway.
Okay. All right. State.
Good afternoon, Judge. This incident occurred May 21st, 2024. Officers responded to 622 Amal Drive, Southwest, Unit 82 in Atlanta in reference to a dispute. Upon arrival, officers made contact with the victim, Jessica Milon. Ms. Milon advised that she and her boyfriend, the defendant who lives with her, got into an argument over the defendant being out all night. The victim tried to kick the defendant out of the residence when he got off the bed and pushed her up against the wall, striking her, then slammed her on the bed, straddled her with his hands, and put his hands around her neck, holding her down. The victim sustained a scratch on her neck and scratches on her right arm. And all of this happened in the presence of the victim's niece, who's a juvenile PN. Our office has not been in touch with the victim at this time. And he does have history, Your Honor, but it's mostly traffic and drugs. And his last arrest, from what I can see, is 2019. So the state's recommending a signature bond through pretrial, no further contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location, anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol out on bond. And if we could sound for Jessica Milon.
All right, Jessica Milon. Jessica Milon. All right.
That's fine.
Oh, PD Cook.
Okay, yes. We would object to the anger awareness. We have no objection to the other conditions of bond or the bond.
Okay. I will order a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial level 2. I will order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I will order the 1-day anger awareness course free through pretrial.
Will you break that bond down, Your Honor?
Oh, I'm sorry. That'll be 2,000 on the battery, 500 on the cruelty.
And then, Your Honor,
Alright.
for the record, there's no further contact with the victim. Stay away, correct?
Oh, yes, thank you. I'm so sorry. I left those 2 out. Stay away from the incident location, that's 662 Amal Drive, and no further contact with the victim, Miss Milan, and the juvenile PN.
Number 7, Mr. Fields.
This is 24 CR 003193H, Robert Fields, charged at 1 count of loiter and prowling, 2nd count willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, and the 3rd count of public indecency. Do we need to hold this to the end? That 3rd charge concerns me. I don't know what the facts are.
Probably, Judge.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Position 6.
24 CR 003192E, Christopher. Oh, this is Coelho Meja. This is the case that we need the interpreter. Do we have an interpreter on the
That's
line?
number
yet?
666, Crumbly, right?
Oh, no, which one is it? I
6.
thought in the chat he has position 5.
Position number 6 is Mr. Cromley. Position number 5 is the interpreter case. We're doing number 6.
Okay, thank you. So this would be Manchez Crumbly, charged at 1 count of violating a family violence protective order. Pre-trial.
This is 8th arrest. On probation for ag assault, cruelty in the 3rd trespass, battery DV. It's 23 SC 185896. Also on probation for 8 counts of armed robbery, conspiracy to commit a felony theft by receiving, hijacking motor vehicle, 2 counts of ag assault, 3 counts of possession of a firearm during the commission, possession by a convicted felon. Oh, it's 3 different case numbers for that. Got a 2024 arrest for giving false name, 2022 battery, 2022 obstruction. That's all.
All right. State.
Judge, this incident took place February 21st, 2024. Officers responded to 378 Boulevard Northeast in Atlanta in reference to a dispute. Upon arrival, they spoke with the victim, Bianca Marshall. She advised that her children's father, the defendant, called her and came over to the house despite having been served with a TPO prohibiting any contact. And the TPO also had to stay away from the victim's residence. Upon further investigation, the officer determined that the Superior Court of Fulton County issued an ex parte TPO on February 2nd, 2024. The defendant had been served with that TPO on February 5th, 2024. A hearing was not scheduled for that TPO until February 26th, and this happened on February 21st. The case number for that TPO is 24 CV 500050. The victim statements were also corroborated through security footage at her home. Our office has been in touch with the victim. She said that she and the defendant are not in a relationship. They do not live together. They do have 2 children together. She confirmed the events in the warrant. She stated that she filed it for TPO because the defendant's very violent toward her and she was concerned for her safety. She stated that they do have a previous case together. It's the aggravated assault case. She is the victim in that case. She was ordered. He has not had any contact with her since and does not wish to have any contact anytime soon. She does want to stay away from the residence. At this point, the state is in the process of upgrading this to an aggravated stalking. But for now, the state's recommending a $2,000 cash bond, no further contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location, anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond, and if we could sound for Bianca Marshall.
Bianca Marshall.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine. Do you wish to address the court today? Yes or no? Hello?
I said, yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, you have to turn on your camera. And if you're driving, you need to pull over. Can't
Okay.
talk to you while you're driving.
Okay. No, I'm not driving, love. My sister, I'm on the way to work, but I'm not driving.
Okay.
Yes,
All right,
ma'am.
raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Can your sister just say hello so I know there's another person in the car driving?
Just say hello.
You don't have to
Well,
show her face or anything.
I'm sorry, love.
Okay, just tell me. She can say hello, Judge.
Okay, say hello. Hello.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you the first question. Are you in fear of Mr. Crumbly?
Yes.
Do you want to have any more contact with Mr. Crumbly?
No, sir. I mean, no, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. And we understand that you have a TPO, temporary TPO in place. Is that right?
Ma'am, I do.
Okay. And how old are the children that you have together?
They are one. They'll be two August the 25th.
Are they twins?
Twin boys. Yes, ma'am. Hassan and Hussein.
Okay, so they're 1 year old. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Any cross-examination questions?
No, ma'am. I just don't want
No,
no
no, no, no,
death.
no, no, no. Hold on. That was not for you. That was
Oh,
for
okay.
that was for the state.
Okay.
Just one question, Miss Marshall. Are the children named as protected parties in the TPO as well?
Yes. Yeah, everybody's name should be on there. Should be me and 7 kids, even though we just had the 2 together.
Okay, and did the court issue a 12-month TPO after that hearing in February?
I think so, but I know they was telling me because we did have a court date where we had a little hearing, but they were saying that about they couldn't, serve him properly, that I would have to go down and I guess update it maybe. I'm not sure, love.
Okay. I don't have any further questions.
All right. PD.
Yes,
Which
Your Honor,
PD tie?
yes, thank you. Your Honor, my client is 34 years old. He is the father to 3 minor children. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. He states that he was never served. He was not aware. I believe Ms. Desiano said there was a hearing scheduled for February 26th. This incident allegedly occurred February 21st. Again, he does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. I understand there's some history, but because it's in question and the witness just stated too that there could be an issue with service, I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services and no further contact, and a stay away is fine. Nothing further.
Judge, I just want to be clear. According to the police report, the officer confirmed that the defendant had been served with the TPO on February 5th, 2024. So while at this point the hearing hadn't taken place for the 12-month protective order, there was still an ex parte order in place. And he was put on notice of that order on February 5th when he was served. So he was aware that he was not supposed to be over there.
All right. Thank you for that information. I'm going to order the $2,000 cash bond. I'm going to order stay away from the victim's victim's home location, stay away from the victim's work location. I think he's to be 200 yards away from the victim at all times. All the boxes will be checked on the on this order, on this bond order, is to have no further contact with the victim or any of her 7 children, although only 2 kids are his biological children. I'm going to kind of pair this with what the temporary protective order would have said so that there won't be too much confusion. And I'm also going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I believe that's all I'll order for now. Anything else, counsel?
Nothing from the state, Judge.
All right. Next.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Marshall. You can sign off.
Thank you. You have a
Appreciate
blessed
your
day.
time. You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Position number 11.
This is 24 CR 003189Y, Bernard Mitchell, charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, pretrial.
Let's see. 30 total. Got a cruelty in the second arrest. He's out on pretrial for terrorist threats. 24 CR 001 488F. Got an open obstruction in state court. 21 CR 003 810Y. Disrupting public school out of Superior Court. 24 PI 002996. 2021 probation. 2019 ag assault conviction. 2014 probation. I don't know how much that pretrial bond is. I forgot.
The one for the terrorist threats was 10,000.
Oh yeah, that's right. Set by law. Oh yeah, that's right. You got it.
Okay.
Nothing further.
All right, State.
And Your Honor, I just want to make clear his other two open cases in state court. They also occurred at this instant location, which is the Michael Hollis Academy. Both of those cases predate this case, obviously, and he was out on a SOB jail and a $10,000 pretrial bond. Conditions for both of those bonds were to stay away from the same exact incident location. So here we are yet again with his third case in state court at this school, Michael Hollis Academy. He was there. He was approached by the officer who's familiar with him, and he's also familiar with the officer. She advised to him that he was aware that he's previously been criminally trespassed. He's not allowed on the property. He's not to be within 200 yards of the property. He refused to leave, and he told her that he's not to be messed with in so many words. And a warrant was taken out. He's known at this school for causing problems, causing havoc. The officer actually reached out to me. I think they have some type of ceremony or graduation today, so she wasn't able to attend, but they have very serious concerns about the safety of the students and other parents. I believe that terroristic threats case involves another parent, but every time he comes to the school, it's havoc. He's well aware that he has two other open cases where he's been instructed by the court to stay away, and he keeps returning, causing problems and threatening students, parents, and the officer that works at that facility. So we are asking for a $3,000 cash bond, a stay away from the instant location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right, PD Kim?
Your
No?
Honor, this is Mitchell, right? I believe,
Yes.
I mean, $1,000 cash bond is just too excessive. I'm kind of like, wow, just surprised to even hear about it, Your Honor. Mr. Mitchell, his wife had a seizure at the time. His kids don't go to that school. He does not have to be there near the school. He just wanted to take care of his wife. That's all what happened. And Your Honor, he is qualified for public defender services. There's no way that he's going to be able to come up with a $3,000 in cash to bail him out. So that's like giving him no bond for a misdemeanor. And Your Honor, his education was he had some college. He wanted to be a pastor at Life University. He's still pursuing it, but he doesn't have a bachelor's degree yet. He has 11 children, Your Honor, and 8 grandchildren. 3 of 11 children are minors, 5, 8, and 9, and he has to work to take care of them, Your Honor. And we would like to request for signature on bond, whichever level you feel comfortable through pretrial service. Otherwise, I'm just afraid that he's going to be in jail for really, really long time with the 3,000. That's too much.
Yeah, and just to be clear, his wife does not work at that location. If it is true that she was having a seizure, that has nothing to do why he was at that location. He initially had a signature bond through the jail on his first case. Then he had a pretrial signature bond, and now he's here yet again. So he's not eligible for pretrial because he already had that. And as we know, I'm sure Mr. Howard is going to be coming off of that bond. And any health condition about his wife having a stroke or a seizure or whatever counsel said, it's simply not true. He was not there for his wife. She does not work there, and she was not having a seizure at the school that day. I talked to the school resource officer about 30 minutes ago, and he was there causing havoc.
All right.
If they were having a seizure, they would be at the hospital.
Right.
I'm sorry.
What's the wife's name?
I'll
of the
let
victim?
counsel.
I'm right here, Your Honor. And
Well, she's
furthermore,
not the victim, Your Honor. She might be his wife,
I
but she's
am
not
the
the victim.
I am the wife. I have
Hold
Right,
on,
but
hold on.
I just want to make
Hold
it clear
on.
that she's
Hold
not
on.
she's not the victim in this case. She may be his wife, but not the victim.
Gotcha. And who, according to the warrant, is the victim? I guess all the employees.
Well, this
at
is
the
just a
school?
criminal, right? Correct, because it's a criminal trespass, and he has been criminally trespassed before and has 2 open cases where there's a stay away for that instant location.
All right, I see Tori Houston on, who's the wife for Mr. Bernard. I also see an Orlando Moore shaking their head a lot. Do you have any relation to this case, Ms. Moore?
Yes, I'm his sister. Yes.
Okay. No, I don't, at this point, this is just a bond hearing. And I don't allow family members who are not victims to speak regarding this incident.
But I was there with him when he was parked at the church. I
When he
was
was what now?
receiving. He was parked at the church. He was not on the school
Okay, so
property.
those are factual discrepancies that I'm not going to entertain today. That will be
Okay.
entertained at another hearing. What I want to know
Okay.
at this point is obviously whether he's going to return to court and whether the victims in this case, which would be the employees at the school, are going to be safe and free of him not coming back to that school wreaking havoc again. So that
Your
is my concern. And Ms. Houston, at this point, I'm going to move along because you're not one of the victims in the case. And
My
I'm not
children
gonna,
have been withdrawn from the school. They no longer attend that school. I
okay,
withdraw them and they've been
that's
accepted
fine.
at CHIP. So
That's
he has
fine.
no reason to go.
I'm glad. I'm glad that he doesn't, but with the history that he has, there's no way that I'm certainly going to give him a signature bond. That would be out of the question. And I see a hand raised by Miss Mamie Moore, who I have a feeling is his mother, possibly. Who are you, Miss Moore?
Your Honor, I am his Christian sister in Christ, and I'm here to support him spiritually and advocate on his behalf to be given opportunities to continue to grow. And as his lawyer
Okay,
has
now
spoken
hold
out,
on. I'm not going to allow you to speak because I haven't sworn you in, first of all, and I don't have any victims on this call that I'm aware of. Are there any victims or persons employed at the school, in this case with Mr. Bernard, this Michael Hollis Academy? Those are the persons that by law are allowed to speak today at this hearing. If I don't have any employees at the Michael Hollis Academy, then I'm not going to hear from family members. He doesn't need a character reference today, in my opinion. I've gotten what I need to know as much about him in order to set a reasonable bond. And because of the history, I'm going to go ahead and rule. I'm not
Your
going
Honor,
to hear.
can I'm sorry to
I'm
interrupt.
sorry. I've got to hear from PD Atai. She is the one that I will hear from.
I thought it was PD Kim's case.
It is, Your
Oh.
Honor, but Your Honor, I just do want to make the court aware that previously when he was criminally trespassed, or I don't remember the exact charges, the reason why he got a signature bond is because it was at that time the PTA president. I sent an email, a letter that I got from the principal of the school, Dr. Tiffany Brown, and she stated that she made a statement about his work with the community and with the school. She stated that he served as a liaison between the school and the community and was the president of the PTA at that time, hosting virtual PTA meetings, keeping members informed and volunteering, standing outside in the street, making sure students get to school on time. The issues arise when he confronted parents about dropping their kids off at school outside of the hours that they were permitted to be at the school. So there was no one to watch them. Those parents became upset, and it's not him causing havoc. It's him trying to keep some order at the school.
Well, he's the PTA president. I understand what you're saying. He's
Well,
PTA
we just get
president. He's not
online and
resource
just
officer.
say anything.
Not
That
the
absolutely is
principal.
not true.
I sent you have the email.
But you say he was not creating havoc. He's there to watch the children. His first case is back in 2019. His first case is back in 2019. It is 2024. He's had to stay away from that school for the last 5 years.
No.
So yes, the 21 CR case has an incident date of 2019. Yes. It's 2024. No. So that means for 5 years, he's been ordered to stay away from that school. So past PTA president, that's not a matter of the court, but what is a matter of the court?
That was in January.
Okay, well, a matter of what is of the court is his open bond conditions that he's been asked to stay away, not asked, told to stay away.
I'm just explaining why he received.
Right, and I'm letting you know that he was criminally trespassed back in his 21 CR case that has an incident date of 2019, which was 5 years ago.
I don't know about that case. I know
Well,
that
I do. You
here
don't
in
have to know
2020,
about
you
it.
didn't
I
bring
know
it up
about
in,
it, and I'm
you
letting
didn't
the
bring it
court
up
know
in
about it.
January. You didn't bring it up in
You
January.
don't. You okay? We'll run the tape back. I'm bringing it up now. That's what's relevant. And like I stated, he's been ordered to stay away on multiple cases. He also had a fourth case in Superior Court. I didn't even mention that case, but the 3 cases that he has in state court going back to 2019, which was 5 years ago, he's been ordered to stay away on each of those cases. So he's very well aware that he's not to be within 200 yards of that school. So let's
All
not just
right.
get on here and say he's watching the children, protecting. No,
That
he's
is,
harming the school. That's
well,
not
All
true.
right. Hold
so I
on,
guess you
PD
know
Tie.
better than the principal.
Hold on,
I
PD
guess I do.
Tie.
I
Hold
guess
on,
I
PD
do.
I know
Tie.
you don't.
Okay,
Huh.
P, hold
I'm
on.
glad you don't
Hold
get
on.
paid to know what's right.
Okay. PD Kim, do you have
Your Honor,
anything to say
yes, you have
relevant to your
thing to say.
client's position?
Yes, Your Honor. There was no victim here in this case. Number
No
2,
victim?
no victim. No one came out. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was injured, Your Honor. And my client's sister clearly said he was in church, not at the school. So I don't
So
think that
somebody was having a stroke. We in church. We're just all over with the lies. Like, which one is it? I thought somebody was having a stroke.
Or
That's
I
what
had
you
a
said
seizure.
earlier. That's
I
what you
had
said
a
earlier.
seizure.
A
I had a
seizure, a
seizure.
stroke.
did you have
Okay.
a
And I
seizure
had it
at
three
school,
times a
That's
Miss
month,
not
Sister,
nothing
and
to
I
play
also
sister?
with.
have
That's not
medical
nothing to play with.
documentation.
That's not nothing funny. I'm not laughing because I have
We're not. And hold on, I want everybody to be
funny.
quiet that I have not ordered to be quiet. Please mute them for me, Miss
Champion.
Champion.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, I'm not hearing any more testimony from relatives and family members who were not witnesses or there at the school on that day that the police were called to come to that school because the person was there, the defendant who was not supposed to be there. That's real simple. Is that exactly what the warrant says, Mr. Walker, correct? You're on mute. Okay.
I'm Mr. Walker,
I'm
but I'm not.
sorry.
I'm not part of this.
I was going to answer, my device froze, but that is correct, Your Honor. That's exactly
And
what the
there's
warrant
someone else
states.
named iPhone who's trying to talk who doesn't need to talk, it sounds like, unless iPhone is the principal of the school. And I think that's a female, correct? Okay. All right. I'm going to, I'm sorry?
Your Honor.
Yeah.
So he did not come in. We deny the allegation for the record, Your Honor. That's all.
All right. Mr. Walker,
Yes, Your Honor.
do me a favor. Read me the warrant real quick, please, again.
Okay, let me pull up the case.
Okay.
So I just took some notes, but let me just go to the case so I can read you exactly from the warrant. Just give me
Okay.
about 15 seconds, please.
Your Honor, I have a warrant.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up also.
Okay.
Okay, it says that Bernard Mitchell did intentionally enter Michael R. Hollis Innovation Academy at 225 James P. Broadley Drive as a violation of the stay away court order and criminal trespass citation issued on April 29, 2024 without the consent of Atlanta Public Schools. The officer who took out the warrant said, I was made aware that the parent who has a previous criminal trespass warning and charges of disruption of public schools, in addition to court order reference case number 24 CR 001488F, where he was charged with terroristic threats and acts, was not to be within 200 yards of the location and was in fact on the APS property, Hollis Innovation Academy at 225 James Broadley. School surveillance shows Mr. Bernard Mitchell on the property several times starting at 2:35 p.m. Once I arrived at the rear of the school, I witnessed Mr. Mitchell walking down the fence line of Hollis after communicating with another APS crossing guard. He initially walked to the vehicle that was parked in a church parking lot directly across from the rear school. He then proceeded to walk back across the street to where I was standing in the school driveway. I turned around and addressed Mr. Mitchell. You're within 200 yards of the school. He immediately responded, I ain't got no criminal trespass. I responded, you do. I dispatched a supervisor as Mr. Mitchell motioned for his family who were on campus. Mr. Mitchell could be heard saying, keep playing with me if you want to. Find you something else to do. He further suggested, I'm not going to keep warning you. Leave me alone now. You don't want these problems. Now, this is him speaking to the school resource officer. You don't want these problems. Mr. Mitchell is known in the community as King Felony and has been known to maliciously disrupt and use excessive profanity and insinuating violence, especially in and around Hollis Innovation. That was from Officer Carrie Price, who called me about 30 minutes before court started. She advised that she wanted to be here today. However, she is on shift and they do have a graduation or award ceremony going on today. That is what the warrant states word for word. And also, I'm referencing 21 CR 003810Y, where he was also ordered to stay away from this same incident location that has an incident date of 2019. So, to say the least, he's been causing havoc for 5 years.
All right. I'll get a quick response from PD Kim. I'm going to give a ruling and move on. PD Kim?
I believe that this is very subjective by the officer who actually defames him in writing. This is kind of like a defamation from my perspective. And
civil
there's
suit.
no intent that was proven here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. I'm going to order the $3,000 cash bond.
Your Honor, that is too much.
I understand that it's got to be sorted out. He'll come up for review SAP on June 4th, and it can be reconsidered at that time. But there's something more going on here, and I'm not comfortable with what I'm hearing. And I'm going to order, according to the state's recommendation, a $3,000 cash bond. He's already out on bond. He's got a pretrial bond that's going to be revoked as well. So he's got to sort it all out, and you all will have to do that. I'm going to order him to stay away from the incident location again, which is this Hollis Academy. Do not go to that property under any circumstances. Don't care who's there and what's going on. You can meet him somewhere else. Hopefully we can get these other parents' names from the other bond orders and find out what's going on. I don't know if he's still PTA president, don't care, but the allegations are that he cannot be at that school. So he might need to resign until all this gets out or take a leave of absence so that he can figure out how he's going to, I guess, carry out those duties without, getting harassment charges from the parents. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while out on bond, and stay away from the property, the school property, and stay away from any of those parents and school officials and employees and administrators while they are on the school property. He shouldn't be in the wood line. He shouldn't be on the fence line. He should be 200 yards away from that school. So he doesn't have kids there, doesn't have reason to be there. He doesn't have kids there, I don't see how he's still the PTA president. So whatever their rules are, it's I don't care to belabor that at this point. Stay away, Mr. Bernard.
And Your Honor, I know you asked about the victim's name in the other terroristic threats case. I did pull up that bond order, and it says no further contact with Tamika Evans and the kids at the Hollis Academy. So Tamika Evans, the order literally says Tamika Evans and the kids at the Hollis Academy. So
yeah, he should not be there talking to any parents. I'm gonna make it even broader. No parents, no administrators, no employees, no teachers, no children. Don't talk to any of them, because obviously it's not working too well for him. So stay away and don't talk to him, to any of them, anybody connected with that school, and any parents whose children belong there. Please do not speak to them, or else you'll be right back here in the Fulton County Jail.
Even
all right,
out,
thank you.
Almost like a
Judge, what was the pre-trial bond that's been surrendered?
No. $3,000 cash bond.
The previous
10,000.
10,000.
Oh, 10,000 was the previous. I'm sorry.
May we please at least consider like a $1,500 cash bond, because this is outrageously too high. Then Poverty.
Not based on the facts that I've heard today and the Ayala factors. I'm really not comfortable with the fact that he won't return. As the state said, this has been going on since 2019. And obviously he's not getting the message. So all of his supporters can come together and put up the 3,000 cash. All right, next case.
Position number 13, Scott.
24 CR 003185F. Christian Scott, charged at 1 count of driving hit and run. 2nd count driving while license suspended or revoked. 3rd count of driving following too closely. Pretrial, I'm sorry.
5th arrest, 2024 probation. Has a suspended license arrest from this year. 2023 fleeing, 2021 suspended license.
All right.
It's jail if you decide on signature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sharon. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to Far Road and Lookout Place where they met with the victim, Mr. Juan Aquino. He advised that he was rear-ended by the defendant. He was able to take cell phone footage of the defendant leaving. He was able to capture the defendant's face and his license plate. The officer was able to do an investigation, was able to locate the defendant and match the defendant's license with the cell phone footage. And it was also determined that he did not have a valid license while this occurred. To the 1 count of the hit and run, we're asking for a $2,000 surety bond. Driving with a suspended license, $1,000 surety bond, and the 2 closely is a $500 SOB jail. Obviously, we're going to be asking for no driving as he does not have a valid license, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond.
All right. PD Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Scott is 23 years old, Your Honor. He denies the allegation. He believes that they arrested a wrong person. He never owned Subaru Legacy. He does not know anything about CJR 5443, the owner of the car. He was not that owner. He did not own that car either, Your Honor. I think that there is a mistake where the video was not clear or something. Somebody else should be arrested. And he is gainfully employed. He's working as a senior diesel technician, and he has a 2.5-year-old son that he has to take care of. And Your Honor, we would like to request for a signature on bond through jail for this traffic violation, which he's not the one.
So you're telling me that he was not driving this vehicle?
No, that's what he said. Yes, correct, Your Honor. He did not own the car. He was not driving the car.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't say that he owned the car. What I said was that he was driving the car and they matched the footage from the cell phone to his license. And I think it's no coincidence that he has other open driving with the suspended license cases. And I think he also has a fleeing case open. So, if all that's coincidental and
Okay, that's something that will have to be argued in
but he
court.
was captured on footage and he was identified by the victim and his license did match the person that was on the video. So
okay. All right, PD Kim. Some of those arguments will have to be brought up at a later date, different type hearing. I am here to determine bond. And you said he's a diesel technician?
Yes.
He's from Georgia. He's from Georgia.
He's from Georgia, Stockbridge, Georgia. He was born and raised here. He has a place here, house. His whole family is here. He has a really good job. He's not going anywhere. He will come to the court and he will take care of this.
All right, I'm going to order on the driving hit and run a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. On the driving while license suspended, a $1,000 signature bond through the jail. And then following too close at 500. So that'll be 3,500 SOB jail. I add that up right, I believe it.
That's correct.
Okay, 3,500. He's not to drive at all. unless he somehow mysteriously gets a valid driver's license in Georgia. I doubt it, but no driving. So if he needs to go to work, he has to take a Uber, get a ride, or ride a bicycle, maybe. He is to have no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I guess there's no stay away. And I don't know about the victim. If we say stay away from the other driver, I don't know that that matters or not.
That person, Your Honor.
Yeah. So I'll leave that out. But the biggest thing is he's not to be driving at all. All right, that's it.
Number 14.
24 CR 003182E, Yehuda Selassie or Selassie, one count of criminal trespass. Retrial.
Second arrest, 2023, given false name, possession of marijuana. The booking sheet stated the defendant is homeless. Jail recommendation.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched at 922 Hall Street. They were dispatched because a neighbor to that property called 911 because they're aware that the owner, Miss Sonia Matthews, is out of town and they was looking after her property. They observed the defendant enter into the home, I believe it was some type of book bag. Shortly thereafter, he left out and then he returned with more of his belongings. The officer arrived on the scene and they actually found the defendant trying to leave out of the property. They discovered that the side screen door had been broken by the defendant, and the defendant essentially admitted that he was homeless and he was looking for somewhere to stay. So the state is going to consent to a signature bond through the jail, a stay away from this instant location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Thank you. No objection, Your Honor.
All right, I will order $1,000 signature bond through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Stay away from 922 Hall. Is it Hall?
Yes, Your Honor, Hall Street.
Okay. And no further contact with the victim, Sonia Matthews. That'll be it.
You said 15?
1,000. I thought I said
Okay.
1,000, did
No,
I?
you probably did. I didn't hear it. I
1,000.
didn't hear it.
Okay, 1,000, yeah.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Okay. Yes, Mr. Cook.
I'm sorry. We have used a translation service. They're on the line. I have interviewed my client now, and
Okay.
the translator will be available to do the hearing. We can do that right now if you wish.
Okay.
But
That's-
hold on, can we, is there any bond for the criminal trespass itself? On booking, it's showing that it was a $2,500.
Oh, on position 14, Mr. Selassie?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
There was a
so-
second charge that I NOD'd. Are you referring to that?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah.
All right, that clears it up. All right, thank you. Let's see who the jail wants us to do next.
We're gonna do the Spanish interpretation.
I'm sorry?
The Spanish interpreter case.
Okay. That's position 5. 24 CR 003192 Christopher Coella Mejia. Where's the
Yes, that's
interpreter?
our case.
Madam Interpreter, are you on the line? Can you hear the judge in the courtroom?
Yes.
Okay, you can hear
He
you can
can
hear what's
barely
going.
hear you. And can the defendant hear you? I guess would be most important. I'm trying to see where she's coming up. Are we hearing her through another device?
Yes, we're here. We're on a three-way phone, unfortunately.
Okay.
Now the
with you,
defendant heard her during our interview. So
can he hear her now?
I can hear you.
can the defendant hear you, Madam Interpreter?
Yes, I can hear you. I cannot hear the.
Yes, but But
I
will,
think he's Christian.
will you verify that that the defendant can still hear you?
Ask her to call the defendant's name.
Yes. Christopher, ¿me escuchas?
Okay, that's what I needed. I needed a defendant to say, see, he could
Okay.
hear her.
Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Sorry.
All right. And in this case, the defendant is charged with 1 count of battery, family violence, and a 2nd count of cruelty to children in 3rd degree. Madam Interpreter. I'm not for sure if this is working. She may need to call in on a different line or different number because she's not repeating anything I'm saying to him so he can know what's going on.
Madam Interpreter, will you repeat can you repeat what the judge is saying to the client?
I didn't. Could you repeat that again, please?
Okay, whenever the judge said something, you need to repeat that to the client.
Okay.
Let me do this first. Madam Interpreter.
Okay, Madam Interpreter, the judge is about to speak to you directly.
I'm not feeling very comfortable about this. I'm going to raise your right hand to swear you in. First of all, I don't even know who you are. I can't see you. I need your name, and I'm going to swear you in. And if we have too many more problems with it, you're going to have to call in on another line or something because this doesn't seem like it's going to go well.
Judge Cook, can you just send her the link?
Right.
What is the link? I used our link. What link do you?
Same one?
I'm sorry.
It's the same one.
Same one.
Okay. Well, rather than me guess,
Miss Champion, can we get her email? Miss Champion can send it to her? Because I don't like how this is going.
okay.
I'll put it in the chat too, Judge, so Mr. Cook can send it to her.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
so
if you
Mr.
could put it
Cook
in the
can
chat,
say-
I can send it to her.
It's there.
There
Okay.
we go.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I know what you're talking about now. Okay. Just a
So
moment.
can we do that real quick with the interpreter
Yes,
case? I can
yes.
take something else until she signs in, unless she's getting ready to do it in 2 seconds. Could probably take another case before she's able to sign in.
I think it would be best to take another case and we'll get her signed in.
Okay, that'll be
Thank you.
better.
12.
Number 12, all right.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Thomas Partridge, 24 CR 003188E, charge of 1 count of theft by shoplifting, pre-trial.
32 total. He got an open shoplifting in Douglasville. 2022 shoplifting, 2014 probation. 2012 probation. Jail was the recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to the Walmart located at 844 Cleveland Avenue. Essentially, the defendant was caught shoplifting grocery items. The state is asking for $1,000 surety bond. Stay away from all Walmarts within Fulton County. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond.
All right. And is this your case, PD Kim?
Your Honor, my client, Mr. Partridge, is 72 years. He's retired, and right now he is experiencing residentially challenged situation. He's basically homeless, and he does not have a job. He gets a little bit of Social Security, but it's not big enough. He's of course qualified for public defender services, and he had up to 11th grade. We would like to request for a signature on bond through jail as he is recommended to do so, and he has to go to all the other places anyway. So he's gonna be here in the jail waiting for other county to come and pick him up. Who knows how long it will be. I just think it's just so harsh to give him signature, I mean, the surety bond. He needs a signature on bond, Your Honor.
Okay. I will order a $1,500 signature bond through the jail. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And stay away from the is this all Walmarts in Fulton County State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Stay away from all Walmarts in Fulton County. Please do not go to any Walmart, Mr. Partridge. Is that clear? Okay. I said no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I believe that is it. Did I leave out anything, council?
No,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
Did the interpreter log on yet?
I don't see. Well, I don't know what her name is, so I don't know.
Well,
Did she-
she's got the credentials. She's going to pop up, and we'll see her.
Number 15, position number 15, gonna be rolling in.
Okay. Leon Thomas, 24 CR 003181Y. Charge of 1 count of simple battery family violence, pretrial.
I don't have all of his history. I just got what they put in the bond assessment, 'cause I know it's from out of Ohio.
Okay,
He's a resident of Ohio, and I got an open case out of Ohio for ag battery, ag burglary, burglary, robbery, abduction, disrupting public service, criminal damage to property, endangering a child, and petty theft. That's all I got.
Okay, and I have that same history. I could double check to see if there's anything that we didn't cover, Your Honor. But in
Okay.
this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 1270 Virginia Avenue. They met with the victim, Ms. Carmisha Rhodes. I believe they were on vacation. They were having some type of disagreement where the defendant slapped Ms. Rhodes. That's his girlfriend. They reside together according to the warrant. And essentially, the defendant admitted to the officer who took out the warrant that he just became upset and he slapped Ms. Rhodes. We have had contact with Ms. Rhodes. She does want to have contact with him. So we're going to be asking for a signature bond through pretrial services. No further violent contact with the victim. We are asking for a 2-day anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And I'm not sure if Ms. Carmisha Rhodes is here, but we would sign for the victim at this time.
Ms. Carnisha Rhodes. Are you saying RHODES?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Rhodes. Don't think she's on. But is this your case, PD Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Thomas, I know you want to talk, but I strongly recommend you not to talk. You have
That's not-
remain silent. You have a right to remain silent.
Not my history. He said it's not.
I understand,
Okay.
but
Well,
yeah,
hold on, Mr. Thomas. Just hold on. Okay, go ahead, PD Kim.
as you heard, that's
So he
not.
may not be from Ohio. Do you have anything to say that?
Yes, he's from Ohio, Your Honor. That is true. And we have
Okay.
no section to signature on bond through a pretrial, as long as the report has to be done electronically. And hopefully he can get Zoom hearings and things like that. So
Well,
we
he's
have
not going to be in Georgia.
he is returning back to Ohio. He has his son's graduation tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. So we were strongly wanting to have a signature on bond through jail so he can get out. He faster so that way he can attend his son's graduation. No further violent contact is very good too, Your Honor.
State, well, I would like him to be monitored and to report in since he is out of state. You know, I don't know how much longer it will take for him to go through pretrial versus jail. I guess jail would be quicker, but I'm not comfortable knowing that he's going back to Ohio. We may never see him again.
And I'm okay with phone reporting.
Okay, so we can do phone reporting, and I will make him a level 2. And that will be a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial
Who we prejudging now? Who is this?
for me, Leon Thomas.
The level was 3.
I'm sorry, 3. I apologize.
I mean, if you gonna do
No.
pretrial.
No, I'm doing pretrial level 3, and for him to do that by phone. But 2,500 pretrial level 3. I won't order the class at this time. I don't know if he'll be able to do that, but he's to stay away from that incident location on Virginia Avenue and to have no further contact right now with Miss Carnisha Rhodes, even though it may be his girlfriend. So go back to Ohio, cool down, and make sure that we don't have any more incidents. Okay. All right.
Judge, are you doing a stay away from that address?
Yes. Stay
It was
away
a
and for the
it was a
contact.
hotel.
Well, I don't want him to go back there. She may still be there, and I don't want to mess with
Okay,
anybody
that
else.
address is 1270 Virginia Avenue.
Okay. Oh, one of the hotels over there. Okay.
Position number 16, Welch.
Okay. This is 24 CR 003180E, Andrew Welch, charged with 1 count of battery family violence, pretrial.
2019 public intoxication conviction. This is level 1.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched at 1105 Freedom Lane, where they spoke to the victim, who was the father of the defendant. His name is John Welch. He advised that his son had been drinking. He was inebriated. They had a disagreement, and he headbutted his father, causing bruising under his eye. The state has had contact with Mr. Welch. He advised that his son does have issues with drinking, but he is welcome to come home. We'll be asking for a signature bond through pretrial services. We're going to ask for an alcohol and drug evaluation with any recommended treatment, no further violent contact with Mr. John Welch, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. I believe that Mr. Welch is on the line.
All right, Mr. Welch. Is that John's iPhone?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Do you want to say anything, Mr. Welch? You may not need to at this point. He's getting a signature bond to get out. Can you unmute yourself? See the little red? Sort of, I call it a microphone. I don't know that it looks like it at the bottom. All right, if we can, we're going to keep moving. Confirm your speaking language. Switch to a different language. What is this notice on my screen? I'm going to cancel that because I'm not switching the language. Miss Champion?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a message on my screen. Confirm your speaking language. Is trying to switch it to Spanish. I should not do that, should I?
I was putting the closed caption in Spanish just in case we didn't get the interpreter, so the court was fine.
So do I need to save that or cancel that? I just don't want to mess up anything.
You can save it for now.
Okay.
And then, Ms. Champion, can you send Mr. Welch a prompt to
I
help
did.
him?
He didn't.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I think he just doesn't know how to do it.
Okay.
But if he's okay, the state is saying he was fine with the son coming back home.
Yes,
Okay.
and we're asking for the alcohol and drug evaluation.
I usually don't order it this early in it. It's expensive. I know what you're saying.
Just based
But
on what the father told us and the fact that he does have a 2019 public intoxication, I believe is what I heard.
Well, who's gonna pay for it? I can't hear you, Petey Kim.
My client is going to be full-time student. That's why he is residing with his parents, because they are supporting him financially until he finishes his finance degree.
How old is
he? He is 32 years old. He served
32?
Yes. He served our country from 2013 to 2018, 5 years, and he was honorably discharged. He was
okay.
doing that for Navy. Now he wants to have another career, because he finds that finance is something that where he wants to pursue. So 2019 is almost like 5 years ago, Your Honor, and he's not convicted of anything. So I really pray that you don't get ADT. That's too expensive.
Well, I know it is expensive. I wish I could talk to Mr. Welch to find out about that. Let me see. Mr. Welch seems to be able to hear me. And Mr. Welch is saying thumbs up. Mr. Welch, do you want him? Are you going to help him to get an alcohol drug evaluation with the cost? Yes. All right. You're able to do that. Okay. And that's going to make you feel more comfortable with him coming home to get the ADET? Okay. He's doing thumbs up. We're doing kind of sign language here. So I'm going based on the victim's dad, and if the dad is going to pay for it, more the better, so that hopefully we won't see them down here again. Okay. So
Yes, Your
I'm going to order a $2,500 signature bond through, the recommendation was through pretrial at level 1. I'm going to order ADET and to follow any recommended treatment. I'm going to order no further violent contact with the victim, John Welch. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And that address, the Freedom Lane, what is that? Do we know? What was that?
I think that's the residence.
Is that the residence address? Oh, okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
So then, all right. So no stay away. All right. And that should be it, right?
What's that
Yes.
dollar amount?
2,500.
I was wondering if he could do just AA classes. Those are free AA sponsorships, but his father is okay.
Well, the father gave me thumbs up, said he was willing
Yep.
to pay for it, and he's still giving me thumbs up. So I'd rather him be a little more closely monitored with an ADET and a full evaluation, because maybe there's something other than alcohol. So we want to get to the root of it.
Sure. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Welch. What do we have left?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. We have ACDC.
Yes.
I have positions 3, 4, and 9, and they need
Okay.
to hear their rights.
All right. 3, 4, and 9. All right. These are cases that are charged with misdemeanors. The solicitor's office has already accused them and bound them over to the state court for your bond hearing. And you do have certain constitutional rights, the first being that you have a right to representation. And you should know who your attorney is by this point. You also have a right to remain silent. Remember that anything that you state about the facts, the circumstances, or the occurrences of your case can and will be held against you. The state is here and they're listening. So follow the lead of your attorney. All right. Thank you. Okay, next case I have is 24 CR 003186J, Nikita Brown, charged at 1 count of battery family violence. Pretrial.
So 4th. It's level 1. She got a 2011 probation, 07 forger.
Your Honor, this incident took place May 19th, 2024. Officers responded to 3255 Chestnut Drive in East Point in reference to a domestic dispute. The victim in this case is 15-year-old child. The defendant is her mother. Officers spoke with the mother. She said the child had run away and been gone over 10 days and had just come back, but was trying to run away again. There was an argument because of that. The juvenile was apparently not attending school while she was gone. The mother admitted to smacking the child in the face, causing a nosebleed. The victim also stated that her mother smacked her in the face and caused a nosebleed. Obviously, our office has not been in touch with her. She's a child. The bond recommendation at this point is a signature bond through pretrial, a no further violent contact with the victim, anger awareness, parenting classes, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And I won't sound for the victim because she's a juvenile.
Okay, right. PD Cook, any objection to a
Yes, Your Honor,
signature bond through pretrial?
we have no objection to signature bond through pretrial. We would object to the parenting classes and the anger awareness. We really just don't know all the details here. If a 15-year-old child consistently runs away, it might not be the parents. I mean, it's the parents' issue, but it may not be any need for parenting classes.
Your Honor, it might be the parents, and regardless of what's happening, it doesn't justify smacking your child in the face and causing a nosebleed. So the state would.
That's an allegation.
Well, I'm going to order a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial, level 1. I'm going to order no further violent contact with the victim. It's 15 years old. I guess she wants her back home, I'm assuming.
The last we heard, East Point police seemed to know where she was, but would not reveal it to the client for no. They didn't state why. I suspect at some point DFACS needs to get involved, but I think that's beyond this point at the moment. I mean, beyond our capabilities here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you know, I will put in this order that mother and child, and especially mother who's the defendant in this case, to follow any DFACS orders or recommendations that may be put in place as well. And no further violent contact. And I am going to order, because she's going through pretrial, the 2-day anger awareness course. And you know, to learn a little bit how to deal with it.
Sure.
And no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, no guns while on bond. All right.
Thank you.
Back to you. Uh-huh. Looks like our interpreter has logged in.
I hope so.
Hello,
Great.
hello, good afternoon. This is Mr. Gabino Rivera, the Spanish interpreter for Christopher Coelho Mejia.
All right, can we go ahead and do this so the interpreter can be? I know you all may not like it. Tell me something, ACDC.
Yes, the last one, Miss Bolger, she is Miss Attorney Cook client.
Who is that?
Miss Bulger, I have her, and I also have the Spanish interpretation case as well. So I'll just let the judge make that call.
I don't understand the statement or the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've got the Spanish interpreters ready. I have that case, and then I have the ACDC case as well.
And is ACDC telling me they don't want to wait for the interpreter case, that they want to go before that case?
Your Honor, whatever you call, I can go to Attorney Atai for position number 9.
Maybe we just go ahead and do the Spanish interpreter case then. That's
okay. That's what I'm inclined to do, but I didn't know if ACDC had any concerns or issues. All right, this is position 5, 24 CR 003192E. And this case is with Christopher Coelho Maeja. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it correct. But Mr. Interpreter, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Can you pronounce your name for me, please?
Gabino Rivera Cabrera.
All right. Do you affirm that you will interpret from Spanish to English and English to Spanish to the best of your abilities, knowledge, and skill, with no embellishments, the accurate statements and transcription of this hearing today?
I will be do that.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, and so again, I'll call this case Christopher. Can you pronounce his last name?
¿Me podrías, vamos a empezar ahí con este caso, ¿me podrías pronunciar su nombre?
Christopher Saúl Coelho Mejia.
Mejia, okay. He's charged.
Christopher Coelho Saúl Mejia.
Okay. And he's charged with 1 count of battery, family violence, and a 2nd count of cruelty to children, and the 3rd.
Esos son los cargos, los primeros cargos y todo eso por violencia de los niños, y también el segundo, cargo también debido a eso también, en cuanto a la violencia de sus hijos.
No tengo niños.
I don't have any children.
Solo un niño.
Hold on a second there. Let's let the state give the warrant allegations. It may not have been his child, but there may have, in order to charge that, there had to be a child somewhere around to witness it. So it may not have been his child. So let's tell him, let's see what the allegations are.
Vamos a preguntarle en cuanto a eso, entonces la alegación en cuanto a eso, que si no es sus hijos, entonces sería su hijo entonces.
Sí. Yeah.
Your Honor, I do show that this is his child. That was my understanding anyway. But
bueno,
regardless, there was a child present, and I'll go through that.
Bueno, estamos hablando acerca de un niño menor, y el niño menor está ahí presente también.
Okay.
Okay.
Judge, this incident occurred May 21st, 2024. Officers responded to 3315 Newton Drive in reference to a fight.
I'm sorry, hold on. We did not hear from pretrial.
Oh, yeah.
I
Esto
have
es
that
lo
as
que
his
pasó.
first.
First
Esto es lo que
arrest.
pasó.
First arrest?
Yeah, jail or level 1, whichever one you want.
Okay.
Es lo que pasó el mayo el primero de mayo del 2023, que el oficial fue llamado en el número 33102.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Stay.
Puede
Upon
proceder.
arrival, officers made contact with the victim, Bella Umansor Escobar, who advised that her boyfriend and who is the defendant live together and have a child together, juvenile initials JM.
Bueno, lo que pasó entonces, debido a la víctima, Bala Monzón Escobar, entonces fue llamado el oficial debido a lo que pasó.
Sí.
Yes.
The victim advised that the parties were arguing when the defendant picked up an iPad and hit her with it.
Entonces la víctima y todo eso, entonces estaban discutiendo debido a una tableta y todo eso y pues fue pegado.
The defendant then
Yes.
entered.
I'm sorry, hold on a second. Ask the defendant not to speak. It is not for him to answer yes or no. He is not to speak.
Por favor, el acusado permanece en silencio, por favor, no hablar hasta este momento ni decir sí o no.
Okay.
The defendant then entered the bedroom and began throwing the victim's clothes outside.
Entonces, la víctima entonces entró en el cuarto y todo eso y cerró la puerta de afuera.
The victim began recording the defendant when he grabbed her, trying to take away her cell phone.
Entonces, el acusado y todo eso, entonces, trató de agarrarlo y todo eso y quitar su teléfono.
The
Porque lo
defendant then.
estaba, porque estaba grabando ahí la víctima.
The defendant then struck the victim on the face.
Lo que pasó, el víctima y todo eso pegó ahí en la cara.
The officer observed the victim to have red elbows, scratches on her chest, and redness and swelling to her face.
El oficial vio eso de lo que pasó, que tenía un rasguño y estaba rojo el codo y también en el pecho también tenía un rasguño.
The party's juvenile son, juvenile JM, witnessed the entire incident.
Y también el oficial del juvenil y todo eso, GM, entonces fue testigo de lo ocurrido.
Our office has been in touch with the victim in this case. She confirmed that she and the defendant have a child together and reside at the incident location.
Entonces lo que pasó entonces, pues trató allí la víctima y todo eso de protegerse y todo eso y también estaba un niño menor ahí.
She also stated that they have a domestic violence history, but this is the first time that she's ever called the police.
Anteriormente había sido víctima de víctima doméstica violencia y pues no había reportado eso antes, pero esa es la primera vez que lo llamó la policía.
She also stated that she's afraid of the defendant and she would like a no contact and a third party drop off for their child.
Entonces, también le dijo eso, que tenía miedo al acusado y todo eso, y también tenía miedo de hacerle daño al niño menor.
And she would like a stay away and a one-time police escort for him to collect his belongings.
Entonces, ya después la policía entonces llegó allí y recogió sus pertenencias.
This is his first arrest, so the state's recommending a signature bond through pretrial services, no further contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location.
Entonces, es lo que le están pidiendo, que se mantenga lejos de la víctima y todo eso, y también le están pidiendo allí que puede mantenerse lejos de la víctima, y también ahí está la firma acá también.
Anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond, third party transfer, and one-time law enforcement.
Entonces, allí entonces no hay evidencias de eso, de drogas, ni un arma que lo está utilizando.
And if we could sound for Bella Escobar at this time.
Entonces, a ver si podemos hablar con Bala Escobar este momento.
Is Ms. Escobar on the line?
Miss Escobar está en línea.
All right, no, she is not. All right,
No, ella no está. No está.
PD Cook.
Yes, just to inquire of the state, you said you had talked to the alleged victim and these were her wishes. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Lo,
Yeah. Your Honor,
lo que es-
he does have a place to go. We would object to the anger awareness, but we're fine until this is disposed of with no further contact and the stay away. And he would like a one-time law enforcement visit to retrieve his belongings and third-party transfer for visitation with the child.
Entonces, lo que pasó entonces, lo están pidiendo eso, que se mantenga alejado de ella y también las partes mencionó eso de que pues recogieron sus pertenencias también.
All right.
¿De acuerdo?
I'm going to, I'm sorry.
Sí.
Disculpe.
Oh, no era a mí que me preguntaba.
You're not asking to me any question?
No, this is not a trial.
No.
It's a bond hearing. And his attorney
No.
is going to instruct him to be quiet.
Por favor, puede instruirle allí a su cliente para que se mantenga en silencio.
And yes, this is Keith Cook's attorney. I would instruct him to say nothing further.
Por favor, yo soy la abogada King, entonces le pido a que no diga nada ahorita, hasta este momento.
All right, I will give my ruling, which will be a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial.
Entonces, primeramente, como 22 cientos de dólares y todo eso, y también ir en juicio.
It's level 1.
Ese es el nivel 1.
And 1-day anger awareness course, which is free through pretrial.
Entonces, también un día también para que pueda estar en el juicio también.
I'm going to order a stay away from the incident location or the victim's home. Stay away.
También el Estado también le voy a darle una orden que se mantenga lejos allí del lugar donde vive la víctima.
No further contact with the victim and the child.
No tener contacto con la víctima y también con el niño.
Have a one-time police escort to return to the property to get his personal belongings, and he must come with the police. He cannot go there without a police escort.
Cuando él vaya a recoger sus pertenencias, debe ir con el oficial y todo eso, y no debe de ir solo a recoger sus pertenencias. Tiene que ir con el oficial.
And if visitation is allowed with the child, because I'm certainly not encouraging it at this point, but it'll be up to the victim mother to decide. But if she decides to allow visitation with the child, it must be handled and facilitated by a third party, because the two of them can have no further contact. So if they have, a relative or a friend or someone that's willing to help do the exchange of the child in a public place, they can do that, as long as they don't have any contact.
Entonces, la madre y todo eso, pues, va a decidir y todo eso si puede, si puede tener visitas con la mamá o no, pues va a decidir y todo eso, y no puede, estar allí, si quiere estar en público y todo eso con el niño y todo eso para intercambiar cosas, lo puede hacer, pero solamente en público nada más, y la mamá, pues ella es la que va a decidir y eso, si pueden reunirse o hacer visitas o no.
All
Your Honor,
right.
he has 2 charges. Will you break it down?
Okay. 2,000 on the battery, 500 on the cruelty.
Los cargos que tiene son $2,000, ese es el uno, y después el siguiente son $500.
Anything else, counsel? Have I left out anything?
¿Hay algo más, abogado, que lo deje pasar por alto?
Nothing from the state, Judge.
Nothing from the defense.
Al Estado, nada. No tenemos nada.
All right, that's it for this case. Thank you.
Terminamos con este caso. Gracias.
All right, do we have any other cases that require an interpreter? From either side, state or PD? Is this the only case that we need an interpreter for?
The only one I
I believe
have.
so, Judge.
All right, interpreter, you are dismissed. Thank you so much.
Thank you and have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
Which position is at ACDC, Judge?
Position number 4, Ms.
Okay, thank you.
Bulger. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
This is 24 CR 003185. Carol Ann Bulger, charged with 1 count of battery family violence. Pre-trial.
It's a 5th arrest. 2017 simple assault dismissed. 2014 affray. 2011 simple battery DV. This is level 1.
Okay.
Judge, this incident took place May 20th, 2024. Officers responded to 1960 Bader Avenue Southwest in Atlanta in reference to a dispute. Upon arrival, the officers made contact with the victim, Miss Jeremiah Richardson. Miss Richardson advised that she and the defendant were in a physical dispute when the defendant struck her. The victim had lacerations to her right arm. It's my understanding the victim is the 19-year-old daughter of the defendant. We have been in touch with her. She stated that she is the defendant's daughter. There was an argument. They were pushing each other. Her uncle called the police because he wanted them to stop fighting. The situation was not that serious. This has never happened before between them. She's not in fear of the defendant, wants to continue contact, and she wants the defendant to be able to return to the residence. At this point, Judge, she does have some violent history, but it looks like all those charges were dismissed. The only one that I can see is from 2011. So the state's recommending a signature bond through pretrial, a no further violent contact with the victim, anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could sound for Miss Jeremiah Richardson.
All right, Miss Jeremiah Richardson. Jeremiah Richardson. Don't see. I'm sorry. Is this Miss Richardson?
Brother.
I'm sorry?
I'm her brother.
Oh, how old are you?
I'm 41.
Okay. So you're the brother to the defendant, Miss Carol Ann Bulger?
Yeah, that's my sister.
Okay. So where is the victim, Jeremiah?
Yeah, graduation. Yeah, graduation today.
Graduation from where?
High school, Carver.
High school.
Yes.
I usually, again, like I've told the other persons here that were not victims in the case, and I know that the victim has already turned 19, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm graduating from high school. So I don't really have any questions for you, honestly. Were you there at the time of the incident?
Yes, ma'am.
You were in the home?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, maybe I do. Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So do you know if Jeremiah is in fear of Miss Bulger?
No, she's not in fear of her mother.
That they had an incident or something?
No.
They
I
didn't?
mean, they had it that day, but it wasn't that serious.
Okay. And so you've been living with them for a while?
Yeah, we stay together. Everybody stay together.
Everybody stays together?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, the only way I'm going to be comfortable with this, I hope, is that maybe you can help be a peacemaker with them and make sure we have no other incidents.
I will. I will.
Okay. I would appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Right. So, go ahead. This is P.D. Cooks.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor. I was able to speak to Jemiah right before she left for graduation ceremonies, and she said the same thing to me, that she wishes for her mother to come home and that there be no stay away or no restriction on contact. Obviously, no further violent contact. We would be seeking a signature bond to the jail, and we would object to the anger management class.
And so, how old is Miss Bolger?
I do
Go
not
ahead.
have
Go
that in
ahead,
my
Miss
notes.
Bolger. I think she was going.
I'm
Oh, they
40.
probably. Go ahead.
I'm 40.
40. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
40 years old. Do you
Yes,
know
ma'am.
if she's working?
No, she's not working. She's in graduation right now.
No. My you.
Oh,
She
yes.
she
I'm on leave from MARTA.
Okay. Hold on a second. Let your attorney speak for you.
that's my understanding. She's on leave from MARTA, Your Honor.
All right. I will agree to a $2,500 signature bond through the jail. And I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. I'm going to order no further violent contact with the victim, Jeremiah. I hope I'm not mispronouncing it. And is the victim's last name, is it different?
Richardson is what I have, Judge.
Richardson. Okay, Richardson. And I'm going to order that you all get some help or counseling or make sure that you can live peacefully together. I'm just going to leave it at that. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond, okay? All right. Did you hear me, Miss Bolger?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Position number 9, Ms. Jones.
'24 CR 003170B. Is it Clonetta Jones? Charged with 1 count of simple battery, family violence, 1 count of criminal trespass. Pre-trial.
21 total. Got a trespass, possession of drug-related objects conviction from this year. On probation in state court, theft by taking. It's 23 CR 007792E. On probation for simple battery in public transit vehicle or station and trespass. 2023 FTA, 2022 trespass conviction, 2021 probation, 2020 simple battery disorderly conduct conviction, 2019 trespass conviction, couple of FTAs from 2019. Got a 2018 battery DV disorderly conduct conviction. That's it.
All right, state.
Judge, this incident took place May 15th, 2024. MARTA police were patrolling the Midtown MARTA station when they were flagged down by a woman who was later identified as Frances Bostic, who stated that while she was aboard the southbound North Springs train, that an unknown female came up and spit in her 17-year-old daughter's face. CCTV footage later confirmed the events and led to the defendant's arrest. It's also discovered that the defendant was issued a permanent MARTA ban on September 21st, 2023 for a similar simple battery incident. She just pled to a very similar case in February of 2024, where she was sentenced to 12 months probation, and a condition of her probation was to stay away from MARTA. She was charged with simple battery for spitting on someone in that case as well. She's got several criminal trespasses from MARTA. There's an aggravated assault arrest from 2022 from MARTA. There's an arrest for simple battery on MARTA. This is just a reoccurring issue. So at this point, the state's asking for a $1,000 surety bond on the simple battery and a $500 surety bond on the criminal trespass. No further contact with the victim, juvenile initials SB, or her mother, Frances Bostic, anger awareness, another stay away from all MARTA, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. And if we could sound for the victim's mother, Frances Bostic.
All right, Frances Bostic. Frances Bostic. All right. Go ahead,
Yes.
case? Your time? Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is 29 years old. She has lived in Georgia all her life. She has struggled for many years with homelessness. She does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. She works odd jobs as a hairstylist and caregiver. She's also disabled. I understand there's some history. From what I saw, she's still recommended for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 3. She tells me that she does have an address in Ellenwood with her aunt where she can stay and, have some stable housing and would be able to report to pretrial services. She does not have, she can't afford a bond, Your Honor, so I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services, even if it's at level 3.
She's not recommended
Okay.
with this history.
Judge, she's been ordered to stay away from MARTA countless times. It's not working at this point. Something's not getting through. And at this point, this is like the 5th or 6th case of the stay away from MARTA. So the state's going to insist on a surety bond.
Well, we have an address. Is there a recommendation for an MHE? Or do we have any of that?
Your Honor, I didn't ask for one because I don't have information, but based on the nature of the charges, it's a possibility. The state would certainly not object if you ordered that.
You have any information on that, PD or Ty?
No, Your Honor, I don't believe that she has she has a physical disability. If I don't think that she is a candidate to be, on the competency calendar or anything like that.
Probably wouldn't put her on there until we know. But someone that keeps doing the same thing over and over, and it's pretty awful to spit on people. So I don't know. Those are what the allegations are. And so I do have some concerns about MH. And I guess you've spoken to the defendant and you didn't have any concerns.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll leave it off for now. But I'll order a $2,500 signature bond through the jail. And so PD Ty, make sure you've got all information so she can be reached to come back to court. So that'll be on the first charge, 2,000 and then 500 on the criminal trespass. She is to stay away from all MARTA, like she has a permanent ban. Not get on MARTA, not go near MARTA, else you'll be rearrested.
And Your Honor, she's on probation, and a condition of her probation is also to stay away from MARTA.
Okay, I don't know how good she's doing with it, but let's hope she gets it now. No further contact with the victim, Frances Bostic, and the minor child, SE.
SB, Judge.
Oh, FB. B is in boy. Okay.
No, it's actually wait.
Oh yeah, what
did I say? SB. Yeah, SB. I thought you said SE. Sorry.
Nope. That's okay. SB. And then stay away is MARTA. No further contact with the victim and the minor child. And I think, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Did I leave anything else out? I get it wrong?
Your Honor, can you do a no further contact with the victim's mother as well? Her name's Frances Bostic.
Okay, and no further contact with the victim's mother, Frances Bostic. I will order that as well. Okay, that should conclude this case.
Position number 7.
All right, this is 24 CR 003193H, Robert Fields charged with 1 count of loiter and prowling, 2nd count willful obstruction, 3rd count of public decency. Ms. Champion, can you stop the recording? I'm sorry, stop the live stream.